I am getting my day started. Hello, everybody. I am talking today about first world problems. That's what I'm talking about. First world problems today. Let me write this out. I'll be cooking beef stroganoff today. That's what I'll be cooking. I pretty much read the recipe, double check, recheck. That's how you get better. Don't be a know-it-all. Think you know how to do everything. Check a couple of recipes, cross reference, double check, recheck. You might see some good ideas, some different things you can do to make it better. I make recipes my own. Sometimes I see some stuff and I'll be like, that's that. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's not going to work. Okay. So, anyway, I am starting my day cooking stroganoff. I've been putting it off a day or two. I've had a lot of stuff going on, like always, like everybody, right? We all got stuff going on. It's really a matter of prioritizing. But what I have found is that if you don't cook, you will find yourself without food and justification to eat out. And eating out wastes money, and you don't get to control exactly what you are consuming. That means your sodium counts, you know, the quality of what you eating disintegrates. And yeah, it's better to it's just better to eat at home. Just facts. Cheaper, cost effective, and it's healthier to eat your own food with your own stuff, right? And you know what you put in it. So always clean up before I clean the stove fresh before I cook. Make sure everything's clean. And I think I gotta do something about my phone because my phone died. That's okay. So that's where we're gonna start. My first world problem is that my iPhone. You see how we going? My iPhone cuts off my damn my camera every stream. So that's my first world problem. We cooking stroganoff today, y'all. Cooking beef stroganoff. Just cleaning the stove fresh before I get to cooking. So that's my first world problem. But I got a list. I got a whole list of first world problems. And you know what? I'm grateful to have first world problems. They irritate me, but I'm grateful for them. So one thing I got to do is I got to limit my viewing of this one new channel. This lady has this special channel. And what she does on the channel is she tells you the places where they got these really good deals. See, I do a lot of decorating and, like table settings and stuff like that and tea parties. So, like, I'm always on the hunt to make sure I have enough of anything. It can get boring to somebody who's not into this, but you want to have everything kind of universal and matching. And so sometimes when it comes to getting sales and deals, you have to ride around to shoot 4 and 5 different places. Hey y'all, you got to ride around to 4 or 5 different places just to see who's got everything that you need. And so that's time consuming. Now I am using frozen vegetables. This is going with the stroganoff. I'm using that today. So I'm talking about first world problems. So my first world problem is my phone is always cutting off when I'm streaming. It goes black for some reason. It said it might because it overheats. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. All right, so we putting all the mixed vegetables in there. Hello, how you doing, Troll Boogie? You got me nervous with that name. You probably up to no good. You know what? Before you get started, let me go ahead because I don't know you. Yeah, we ain't finna get no problems. Not today, baby. Not today. I'm talking about my first world problems. So that's my first world problem. Get my little iPhone fixed. Figure out why it always cuts off in the darkness. We're making stroganoff today, y'all. We're making stroganoff. I got my noodles done, as you can see, and we're gonna do the beef. Um, and the noodles are already done. So I am going to start browning the meat, the seasoning of the meat, and the second first world problem I have. How about my HOA asked me my, because I'm a decorator. They asked me my opinion. Okay, this is the front. Turn it on, kind of not too high. They asked me my opinion. They said, "May, we want to do some new decorations. I help with Christmas decorations around the community. We have about four entrances to our neighborhood." And they said, "We want you to help." And I said, "Sure, I'll help." So I signed up for the committee last year. And this year, I didn't sign up for the committee because I, I think sometimes when you have too many people who don't know how to do stuff, it gets confusing, okay? And we had a lot of people last year that signed up and they just don't know how to do stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I just said, I'll sit this one out this year. That's what I was thinking. I'll just sit it out. There was like 20 women signed up last year. And so I sat it out. And I ended up being called anyway. "Hey, May, we need your opinion. We're trying to decorate." I said, "Cool, no problem." And so I gave my opinion. Well, we got new signs, okay? And the signs are blue. They're like shades of blue. They're like metallic. It's kind of modern. I think it's nice. I think it's nice. And it looks good. Like, the signage for the name of the community. So we've got four new sign entrances to the community. Brand new signs. And they're like ultra modern, shiny blue. It looks really good. And I was like, so when somebody said, "Hey, we're thinking about doing blue, Christmas wreath," I was like, "That sounds like a great idea. Let's do that." And so I looked at a couple of Pinterest and they did the shopping while I was on the phone talking to them and everything. They sent me pictures and I was like, "Yep, that, yep, that." Somehow something got lost in translation. I said it needs to be a commitment to multiple shades of blue. That's what it needs to be. Well, I look up, the committee has placed, they have placed them same ugly ass red fucking bows from last year onto blue decorated wreaths, meaning they got like, different shades of blue balls and flowers and stuff. It took something gorgeous and that red just fucked it up. And I am upset. So I just sent a message to the HOA. I'm like, hey, y'all, that ain't it. Y'all messed that up. Y'all got to take them, So I'm nice about it. I was like, the design we talked about did not have anything that clashes. That clashes. So I just spent some time writing as nicely as I could. That them red bows got to go. So that's one of my second, uh, third. I'm not pissed about it. It's not that deep. It's just like, somebody should have said something. Y'all know better. Somebody should have said something. So anyhow, that's the second. And then my third first world problem is I'm cutting onions now. I don't know if y'all can see me cutting the onions. Move that so I can see what I'm cooking. So so my second, that's my second problem. Worrying about the damn Christmas decorations at the entrance is clashing. And the third first world problem, that is that I have this property in the Dominican Republic, rental vacation home investment, was going to be a retirement home, but the tides have changed and that's no longer a place of interest. So we have decided to sell it. And so it's in the sale process. It's about 50% being paid off. Okay. So that's where we at. And I cannot wait because come January 1st, we shall be free, free, free of property, in the DRE, right? Um, Let me tell you something. To whom much is given, much is expected. I've said this before. Um, people want stuff. Let me tell you something that I've had to learn. I've had to learn something. When you see people with all this stuff, y'all, I do not envy them. People with a bunch of stuff, I don't envy them. I do not. I feel sorry for them. Because when you get a taste of the responsibility of maintaining things that you get, that you have, that you earn, that you invest in, when you get a taste of it, that's why you can tell people who be doing all that faking in front and big talk about stuff. When you get these responsibilities, ain't nothing to brag about. It ain't nothing to brag about. That's headaches, that's stress. When people tell me, oh, yeah, I have so and so, oh, yeah, I have, 5 business locations. You know what I be looking? I be like, ooh, baby. Ooh, I feel sorry for you. I ain't going to say it, but that's what I'm thinking. Because a person with one business location, ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell I would try to kill myself doing that. Okay? I said locations. I ain't talking about people having multiple businesses. When you hear people talking about, I own 5 businesses, you listen to a liar and somebody who don't know what the hell they doing. You run one business at a time. You can have side hustles, but you run one business at a time. People start talking about, I got 5 businesses. You a failure. You a whole failure. Because if you got a good business with a high demand, a niche market, it has value, okay? It's doing something out here in the world. Got real customers, real taxes, real accountants, real everything. You ain't got no damn 5 businesses. You a lie. You a whole lie. Not a real business. You got 5 locations. See, that's what people do. I got 5 businesses. What is a home-based business? No, you got is a LLC paperwork. I don't be believing people, man. I live in fake land. These people be lying. The only way you got five and six, and all these business people talk about, you are an extremely wealthy person, and you have hit multiple industries, and you are extremely successful. And 9 times out of 10, you got lots and lots of people who work for you who make all of that run. And you know what? I still don't envy you because for all them people, think about that. The managers, the accountants who do payroll and stuff like that for these big businesses, guess what? That means you got a lot of pressure on your head. You understand? When you are responsible, people don't underestimate that. When you're responsible for the well being of grown adult people and their families, that's a lot of pressure. It's not a joke to have to tell people you don't have enough hours. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep them. You're gonna have to take their hours or let them go. That's a heavy responsibility. Oh, hey, Clue. He says, hey, man, hey, hey. Atlanta is the holy grail of cosplay business tycoon. You ain't lying. Oh my God. This is the truth. I got one business and I have to hold my stress is holding my business back. That's my first world problem. I got a lot of first world problems. My stress is holding the business back. There is so much incentive to take this mug to the next level. It is. I got some great clients, repeat clients, building on top of building. And I started out saying I just needed a few government contracts. Thank God I got a lot of them because if I didn't have multiple cities with the downturn in the economy, it's like the government and the church is the only people who got some damn money. And I'm just keeping it real. The government and the church is the only people who got some money. So I'm glad I have way more business contracts, not business, I'm sorry, governmental contracts. Just got on with some military. Really happy about that. So I'm talking about, y'all can look at my community tabs. You can see some of the work I do. But basically, we have a warehouse where we have event rentals. You could point to a fucking field, okay? And you can see some of the videos and you point to a fucking field and say, put me a whole festival together. I need 40 tents. I need this. I got everything but the stage. And I'm not getting into that. You see what I'm talking about? I'm not doing tent. I'm not doing no stages. That's big boy money, but a stage is more responsibility. And I'm an adult who has lived and invested well, retired early, and now I'm just doing what I love, just doing something that I enjoy. Okay, living on my own terms. There's a cost to that. Okay, there's a cost to it. But what I can say is you have to gauge what you want to do. You have to decide how big or how little you want your shit to be. Okay. And a lot of people, because they don't know no better, they think big, 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 big is everything. But you got to do the math on big. You got to do the math on big. Like I was looking at sales dog videos on YouTube the other day. I was looking at sales dog, and as it relates to this business, I'm gonna tell y'all now. This business, I have a couple of people I started out mentoring, and they have surpassed me greatly. Particularly, this dude out of Florida, okay, white guy, and he came to me and he was just like, "Man, show me the business," and I showed him the business, and he got bigger and bigger. He was telling me his inventory, asking me about pricing, and he's done really well for himself. He's got a city setup now, so he serves 3 cities. He's gotten huge. He was making so much money. He quit his job as an engineer. Okay, he's making so much money. His wife quit her job. Okay, and he decided to go ahead and just retire. That's what he decided to do. And his name is Paul, and I call him Paul from Pensacola. And so we've had this, I guess you would say, business conversation relationship for probably about 8 years now. And Paul from Pensacola, he'll send me pictures and he'll update me on what he's doing. And so one of the last things he invested in, because they got so much Florida golf tournaments, is they wanted some bougie bathrooms. And so he bought this big ass, crazy looking trailer thing that has bathrooms on the inside. He paid $25,000 for that shit. And I was looking like, Paul, what you doing? But see, Paul was taking risks. He was taking risks. He was taking and reinvesting his money. And I was like, well, damn, I had never thought about, that's what I'm saying. You got to be careful because you see different avenues where you can make some money, but you got to ask yourself, do you want the responsibility of that? See, poop and doo doo and all that kind of nasty stuff and waste management, I'm not interested in. Paul told me that when he bought that trailer for $25,000, right? It's bougie. But what does the PGA pay him per day? Guess what they pay him per day? 2,000 fucking dollars a day to rent that damn toilet. And he can pick that shit up and move wherever they need him to move it to, right? That's under the contract. He got golf tournaments that he served. Paul making bank, okay? Now I ain't never asked him about how does he get rid of the doo doo and the boo boo and all that. I don't care. There may be, like I said, to whom much is given, much is expected. So you got to work that into your cost. See, I don't know, but he has people renting this shit. Wealthy people in Florida, they rent this shit. He'll drive it wherever. He charging. You know, he'll rent that shit for a whole 2 weeks or however long the event or the festival happens, right? And these are the people who got money, people who put on these big events. This is the money. This is the money. And so you go after these big contracts like that. And so what I do sometimes, I'm a little gangster, is I call up people. I get my eye on their event or festival. That's all you gotta do. Sales dog. I call them and I say, hey, how much? Who's supplying you? How much they charge for that? You know, I've gotten a lot of opportunity by doing it. Just saying, hey, I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. And that's what business is really about, giving people offers they can't refuse. And sometimes you take in the financial L, but once you get your foot in the door, hey baby, it gets greater later. That's all I can tell you. It gets greater later. So Paul made an investment in that, and I was like, wow, he took a detour. You know what I'm saying? He was making good money doing what he was doing, but he took a detour that gave him more money quicker. And he's still doing, the regular rentals for parties, but now he's got this in his pocket. And I bet you he didn't take him 6 months to get that thing paid off. And so that's what you do. You invest in stuff that you let your customers, you let them pay for it. So the one thing I have been very what's the word? Apprehensive about is doing heaters. Cause see, let me tell y'all something. I had no intention on going into this business. I was going to go into the print. I was going to do like my own newspaper. That's what I was going to do. That was my initial thing when I went to the SBA. and I wanted to, start a business. I went and I got trained because I'm a trained journalist, writer, and all that stuff, and a lot of my background. So I said, I'm gonna do a small business in promoting black businesses because in Atlanta, whew, we got so many black businesses. There's a lot of, you know, it's complicated to verify. I'm not the Better Business Bureau here, but it's difficult. I'll be honest with you, to vouch for businesses. You don't know. So I was gonna set up a thing where say you gotta, submit your LLC. We gotta verify, and only businesses that are on the grid, meaning they're on Google, because I don't want nobody to become a hustle paradise off of my paper. Anyway, I want to get into the paper. That was a bad idea any fucking way because everything went digital. So I would have been broke right now. So God knows best, okay? God knows best. It was a great idea, but I had no idea that technology would become a point where magazines and print ads and print everything is fucking over. You know what I'm saying? It's over. So this was a good thing. God is intervening in my life. So anyway, that's when I first approached some of the SBA programs with this newspaper in mind. Now I do know a Jewish guy who lives in this county who started a newspaper, but he did it digital and he's doing well. So you can always transition. I'm not going to write it off like it's impossible, right? Um, Information sells, advertising sells, plain and simple, and you're making money out of thin fucking air. So it's fine. You're going to make money. Okay, you got viewership, you got money. So it wasn't a whole bad idea, but my point is this: I didn't intend to go into this business. I didn't. I did not intend to. So I'm gonna tell you what happens in good business. Your customers will push you. Your customers will push you to greatness, whether you like it or not. Let me see. Let me read. Atlanta's. Let me see. He said black businesses, multi-level market. Right, right. Yeah. See, I don't. Yeah, you got to be a legitimate black business. I don't fool with people talking ideas. If you don't have a tangible product with a source, I don't fool with you. And if you're providing a service, it needs to be based out of a physical location where you pay some rent and I come see about your ass. So I have been in Atlanta long enough, all this cosplay and fakeness, to know who to deal with and who not to deal with. And so I do go to like business mixers and stuff like that, chamber of commerce type stuff. And so I have some goals around that. But you have to establish yourself among and network among real businesses. There's a lot of fake, failed ass businesses around here. There's no doubt about that. I'm sure that's anywhere, but a lot in Atlanta. So I've learned how to decipher. See, in Atlanta, someone's like, I'm the CEO of Hodgepodge Incorporated, and you looking at the business card they didn't print it themselves. You be like, really? All you got to do is go look their ass up on the LLC. Look and see how many times they change registration, right? How many times they registered? How long have they registered consistently? Are they changing entity names and all kind of weird shit? You can tell a lot. Find out what the LLC is. You can learn everything you need to know about it. And when you see they got their home address and you Google it, you be like, okay, so you based out of your house? Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. Your home address. Then you got to ask them, do you have a business location? Oh, okay. So you okay. Oh, you one of them, right? You one of them. So anyhow, I'm telling you, the best businesses are grown in America. The best businesses are grown out of a garage. Let me tell you, the best businesses are grown out of a garage. Why do I say that? I'm not talking about the way it looks. A lot of people they get caught up on aesthetics. I saw this sister right in Decatur. Decatur is real white and real bougie now. And I went to Decatur and I saw her. She had this place called Lush Lashes. And I went in there and I was like, oh my God, look at her sign. Look at this, look at that. She has all this bougie shit. It's so upscale. She's charging $200 for lash. Now, I don't do no lashes, but she was charging $200 for lashes. And I was just sitting there like, damn, this girl got it going on. She got it fucking going on. Wow, how did she do this? What kind of loan did she get? She put some money in that thing, her brand and everything. I mean, the reception desk, it was like top of the line. I went in there, I congratulated her. I said, man, sister, wow. Because that area, the fucking rent got to be 10, 15,000. It's right next to a fucking Whole Foods. I was like, this sister has arrived. And so I go in there and I'm like, she's happened to be there as the owner, because a lot of times you don't meet the owner. And I said, who So she's like, oh, me, I'm the owner. I talked to her and everything. And she was just like, yeah, yeah, it's a franchise or something from California. I was like, oh, or somewhere. It's a fucking franchise. So that's partly where she got the branding from. But apparently she didn't do it market research. Now, had she been to the SBA like I have and been through multiple programs that I graduated from, she would have known you got to do real market research. That's a whole bougie woke area. Now, bougie woke people, they don't really do no $200 eyelashes. I'm just telling you. Coming every week to get, they got money, but they don't spend it like that. They don't spend it like that. You know what I'm saying? So she didn't do a market research. Long story short, I come back 6 months later. So I don't fuck with Whole Foods too deep because she's right next there, you know. I come 6 months later, that shit's a whole new business. I said, God damn, she didn't even last 6 months. Wow, how could this go wrong? How could this go wrong? Market research. People really underestimate market research. Why is market research so important? Market research is important because you got to know who your customers are. You have to know who your customers are. A lot of these people don't know who their customers are. They just think they can open up a business in the area because it's got some money and it's going to go okay. No, it won't. No, it won't. You got to look at what kind of people live around there. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's mostly Emory. It's a lot of Emory people, a lot of CDC people that live over there, a lot of professors from Emory University, huge campus. All these woke ass people, you got to go to Alpharetta for that shit. That's where you need to go. You need to go to Johns Creek and Alpharetta up north, where them white women got money to waste and their husbands make a few $1 million a year. You got to go up there, sister girl. Because these people, these medical people, and these professors, and these people who work at the CDC, these researchers and stuff, they're not wearing no $200 eyelashes. They're not. I'm sorry. And if she thought the black women was going to come and do it, that's not going to happen. Ain't no black women driving to Decatur to go get no lashes done. They're going to stay in their own neighborhood and get that cheap Chinese, okay? Like Koreans or whatever they are. They're going to let the Asians do that shit for $50. Can I get amen? Can I get an amen? He said, May and the hate. I ain't hating. May and the hate. I ain't hating. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. So she was gone. So that's why I'm going back to my original thought. The best businesses are built in a basement in America. You will find that's the case because your customers and your sales will drive how big your business needs to be. People have an end in mind. They think they want this big storefront, this big building. They want this and that. Let the business grow you into that. And if it doesn't, you stop where you stop. Stop. Stop having the end in mind. Business is an experiment. You don't know where it's going to fucking go. And you got to be willing to go with it. And that's what I'm telling you. That's one of my first world problems. This business could take the fuck off hardcore. I don't want that. People keep pushing me, trying. You don't have stages all this time. I have whatever you say you want, I go get it. I go buy it. I invest in it. I just had to get a new storage after my warehouse. Just had to get a whole new storage because somebody said we want lounge furniture. I ain't thought about no lounge furniture. Now I got 7 whole sets of lounge furniture. Now I got to store the shit. You see what I'm saying? I'm renting out 4 sets of it this weekend, thank God. I'm renting that out. So I'm making money off of it. But like I said, to whom much is given, much is expected. You start accumulating all this shit, now you got more responsibility. That's a whole new transaction I got to do for storage when I already got a warehouse. You see what I'm saying? Every time I expand. So what's my next move? I'm going to have to fuck around if I'm not careful and I let the customers push me. Like I said, the best businesses are built in a basement and you let them grow as they grow. Do not have the end in mind. Let it be natural and organic. Your customers will tell you what they want. You go buy it. They'll tell you what service they need. You get them if you can. But for me, this is how I got here. I started off with a simple hustle because I was a full-time school teacher. I started off with a simple hustle. And it wasn't even a hustle. I had people like, because me and my husband used to have parties all the time. And I kept renting stuff from people. I had this Mexican people I was renting from. Rent tents, rent tables, rent chairs. Every time we have an event, I'm renting something. And I kept looking at them invoices and I said, well, damn, I should just buy this shit. Don't make sense. So we bought some used stuff. I went out and I got 25 Craigslist, raggedy ass, with 25, 27, raggedy ass, whew, rusty, raggedy ass chairs off of Craigslist, all different colors, brown, black, gray. And I started using them for my parties, outdoor parties. We used to have a lot of parties, fire breathers and all kind of stuff, big backyard. We used to have parties. And so that's what I started doing. I started renting them out. I mean, not renting them out, but I started just keeping my own chairs. And then I got a couple of tables. My husband went somewhere to painting something, painting, puffing paint, some shit. And he found somebody had a whole bunch of rectangular tables, like 5 or 6 of them. They had paint all over them. I said, fuck it, we're going to put tablecloths anyway. So we got those. We started just having our own stuff instead of renting it out. And what ends up happening is my friends are also very social people. And they would say, May, can I borrow your tables and your chairs? And I was like, okay, come get them. I don't care. And then what would happen is my neighbor would be like, hey, my neighbor's having, my friend would be like, my neighbor's having a party, or my cousin, and she live over there on the south side. Is there any way you can take them to her and she can borrow them? So I started having people pimping my own shit out, right? Not pimping like they was making money, but it was like a favor. And then somebody one day said, huh? The what? Oh, you talking to someone. I'm sorry, Pooh. I thought he was talking to me. He's shopping right now. He's shopping. We're searching for some heaters. You see what I'm talking about? People. I got a government contract, and they want heaters. So guess what May got to do? May got to go buy heaters. I don't have them. I didn't want them because I don't like propane. I don't like gases and shit. I don't want to be responsible for gases. That's why I don't have helium pumps. I don't like gases, combustibles. I don't. That's why I use organic stuff. I don't like it. But I've had so many people keep bugging me, and it's wintertime. And it's like, you know what, May, you just gonna have to give it up and turn it loose. Just give it up, turn it loose. These people, and guess what? It's free. These heaters I'm about to buy, they're gonna be free. Because all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna charge the cost it costs me. If they're $200 a heater, I'm gonna put it on the invoice. Government pay for it. 200, 200, 400. Give me the 400. I'll buy you some heaters, and I'm gonna keep them. That's how that go. So this is how it's an easy business to constantly expand. If people want something, okay, buy it, and then I'm gonna make you pay for it. Okay, so it's really it almost reminds you of Goodwill, right? Goodwill, people just bring shit and drop it off, and it's free, and then they turn around and make a profit off of it. I keep taking the same item somebody else bought and renting it over and over and over again. Like I got this dance floor. I got this $50,000 damn dance floor, and I rent it over and over and over and over again. So the dance floor, for example, 15 by 15. By the time I deliver it, that's $700. Yeah, and I rent it over and over and over again. And so all you do is just keep expanding your inventory. So it's a no lose business, to be honest with you. It's no lose, no lose. So anyhow, that's how the business started. People trying to pimp me out. Hey, man, I got a friend. Telling people I got a friend that's got some chairs. And so then they started saying, "Well, can you bring it to my house?" And I was like, it was a hustle at that point because I was like, "Well, I charge you 25 to bring it. I still wouldn't charge them for the item. I was just doing it for the gas." And I was like, "Okay." And then finally, I had a lady who went to a pop up shop and she told everybody, she gave me my number. I didn't have no business cards in there because I wasn't in business. She told everybody in there, oh, yeah, this is her number. They collectively got my number. Next thing you know, I got like 25 different people calling me talking about, can I rent them chairs? This raggedy shit, y'all. Can we rent them tables? I'm like, really? And then it was like, well, how much is each table and each chair? And I'm like, I'm making it up as I go. And I'm like, I guess $1 a chair. Tables, okay, $5. I'm making up shit. And at that point, I was like, well, hell, it's looking like a hustle. Okay, so I'm gonna start having like a fee. And if these people call, that's fine. If they don't, that's fine. Because the shit is in my damn garage. I don't care. I'm working full time. You see, this is just something on the weekend. Somebody will call, hey, we got a pop up shop. Can you bring a couple of them tables and chairs? Very small inventory, y'all. Very small. Nothing, nothing. And the shit was raggedy as fuck. And then one fine day, I get a call from this lady, and she says, "Hey, I got your number from somebody, and I need 80 chairs." And I called my mentor, and I said, "Susie, what have you done? Susie, what have you done? This people is calling me for numbers. I ain't got but 25, 26 chairs. Whose number are you? Why are you giving all these people my number?" You know what she says to me? She's my business mentor. I worked for her for many years. You know what she says to me? She says, "Maymuna." Actually, she calls me by my real name. She says, "Sharika, Sharika, you better get it together. You in business." I was like, what? What? My husband experienced this whole thing. We experienced this together. I was like, what, Susie, what have you done? She said, looks like you need to go buy it. You're in business. So I run around to all these Targets and I buy, I think, shoot, we went to like five, six Targets around Atlanta. And I bought up, they had 10 chairs here, 15 over there. I got brand new chairs. I invested, I think it was $10. I invested $1,000 that week. Okay. At that point, I was in business. Then people, you have a business card? What's your website? I said, oh my God. Oh my God. Y'all, no, stop. And people just kept pushing me and pushing me. Do you have any round tables? Do you have this? How about high boy tables? Do you have that? Do you have tents? Do you have, and before I know it, I'm buying stuff. I'm taking the money, reinvested, buying stuff. And of course, I'm working. I was making damn near 100,000. I was making like 90, I think it was 92, 95,000 a year, something like that. So I got money. I'm comfortable, as a teacher. And so this is just some shit to put my money into. Not a big deal. If they pay for something, I go buy a couple of this and a couple of that. Then it was, do you have catering stuff? Do you have a dance floor? Do you have a backdrop? Do you have a bar? Do you have this? I was like, oh my God. Then I had somebody call me. It was like, this is when I knew I was in business. This is when I knew. I had somebody from Buckhead. Y'all know Buckhead, right? Somebody from Buckhead. I don't know how this lady found me. Big ass, huge corporation. They have 8 locations across Atlanta. They called me telling me we're having luncheons. We want you to be our provider of uh our luncheons for we want you to provide for our luncheons for our what do you call it, staff appreciation or something like that, luncheons. We want you to be a provider. This is when I got to test the water. I said, this is a corporation. They got some money. So I just doubled the prices on everything. All the tables, $10. All the chairs, $2. Delivery charge, 150. They paid the shit. They didn't blink an eye. They paid the shit. I said, oh, I got corporations calling me. I got people with some money calling me. Shit started looking different. And so I would test the water. Certain people call, they. Got some money. And let me say this. I'm not a money hungry, thirsty type of person. I got to tell you that now. Everybody will tell you, I'm that bitch that'll give your money back because I ain't no slave. And I don't sell my soul. I just did a video not long ago. I will send you your money back so quick. I don't do no headaches now. You start getting on my nerves, I'm going to send your whole, I don't care if it's 2,000, 3,000. I'll send you your whole goddamn check back. Get out my face. You will not trouble me. Because y'all know what I signed up for? I signed up for peace of mind. What I signed up for? Peace of mind and freedom. That's what I signed up for. I ain't signed up for no headaches and no problems. Not at all. So the business started growing and growing. It took over the garage. It took over the outdoor shed. It took over the upstairs. It took over all the closets. It started busting out. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. Well, I'm reading. It said, what did you say, Clue? I said May and the hat, the small hats. What about May and the hats? What did I do? May and the hats. What did I do with the hats? The small hats. Did I say something crazy about the small hats? I don't think I did. Did I put garlic in here? I don't think I put no garlic in. Let me garlic it up. Because garlic is a good ingredient for good seasoning. Okay. So I'm gonna just heat this stroganoff right on back up. And I'm going to blend my Worcestershire sauce, and my sour cream. I'm gonna blend that together. Where's my Worcestershire sauce? It said Worcestershire sauce, and it also said, what is the other thing it said? It said flour. Here we go. So I put the flour and the Worcestershire and the beef broth. Where's the beef broth? I gotta blend that together. So the 2 cups of beef broth. I memorized the recipe. I want y'all to know that. So anyhow, this is how I got into business. So I started busting out the house. That's what I'm saying. You got business is something that happens organically. Don't try to make it happen. You get the skills, you get the knowledge, and more than anything, be the biggest copycat you can be. That's the key. Be a copycat. When you see somebody else doing something successful, copy. I ain't got no shame in my game. I will copy your ass. Not only am I gonna copy you, but I'm gonna learn how to do what you do better. That's where that ambition comes from. You gotta build. It ain't cutthroat, but you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do. And you can't be after money. You can't be after money. You got to make money make sense, but you can't be a money hungry person. I just don't think money hungry people. I think people who like to play the game of money do well in business. Uh, People who like the game of money do well in business. People who like money itself, they don't do well in business. Not in my opinion. Not in my opinion. And so this shit got out of hand, y'all. Customers just kept asking, "You got this, you got that," and I go buy it. You got this, you got that. Whole fucking house. I mean, it was crazy. Everything was being taken over, space wise. So then we got a storage, okay, and of course, somewhere along the way, we end up getting a big ass truck delivering bigger things, and now we're dealing with tens upon thousands and thousands of invested dollars, and then it just came to a point where it didn't make sense to make what I was making as a teacher. It just didn't make sense anymore to be there when I can work less and make more. It didn't make sense. So we decided in 2020 that, especially with our daughter, giving her the time and attention. Now she's never been neglected or been in a child care situation like, you know, had to go to no daycare. She's always been. Matter of fact, my husband used to work 2 jobs and he quit one of his jobs. His daytime job is a Georgia Power engineer, technician. He quit that when we first had her. So he used to work 2 jobs. So he quit that one. So that we can make, her a priority. So she's always had uh, good care. She's never been a latchkey kid or a babysat or anything like that. We planned her because we didn't have her until 10 years after we've been together anyway. So long story short, here we go. You see how I'm saying? People will push you into business. They will push you into business. You don't have to try. It ain't no struggle. Going into business is not a struggle. And I'm gonna tell you something. All that getting loans and stuff, unless you're trying to do something that is immediately going to have a turnover that equals instant wealth, unless you're doing a big investment like that. And I can give you an example of something that is. But that's even you, and that's man, black folks. Oh, I can't even. I used to sit in the SBA. I done been through a lot of SBA programs. Okay, I did this one called Smart Start, and I would just be amazed at how black people hadn't tried something. And I'm sure it's just because Atlanta's mostly black, y'all. Y'all got to know that. Atlanta's mostly black, so I'm not picking on black people. It's just that this whole city is black. So my experiences will be, for the most part, in relation to black people. But I would see in SBA, people would have these fantasies. Yeah, I'm gonna open up a business, so and so and so. My thing is, you ain't put your foot, you ain't put your toe in the water yet. So you ain't even tried this business out. You don't even have a customer base. But you really expect somebody, some bank, because you black, because you female, you really expect some bank to just give you like 25, 35, 100,000. Really? Seriously? Like some of that stuff just defies logic, the stuff that people want and think they are entitled to. I wouldn't give you a fucking dollar if you ain't never actually made a profit. And I said profit, not a break even. If you ain't even made a profit and you don't have customers clamoring for your business, I wouldn't give you not one red cent. I might as well go play the lotto. So people approach business with no common sense. That's the first thing I see. No common sense. Just want to have a fantasy. And business ain't nothing to do fantasy over, right? It's not. Grow it in the garage. Let the people tell you what they want. Let the market decide. If don't nobody want your shit, you're gonna fail anyway. You understand? So what's the point of trying to get somebody or even taking your own assets? Why would you take your own assets and throw them away? See what I'm saying? Oh Lord, I don't like how this is looking already. Oh, me and Stroganoff. I don't like how this is looking already. Okay, y'all give me a second. I gotta stir this before it turns into biscuit. It said 2 cups. I wonder should I do three? Liz, do you like your stroganoff with a lot of seasoning? Like not cream but cream? Do you like your stroganoff with a lot of cream? Okay, so I'll make not watery. Okay, so more creamy. All right, let me do it a little bit at a time, and then I can determine. hmm Yeah, I'll do a little bit at a time. Okay, stir it in, May. Get it, May, get it. Get it, May, get it. Okay, there we go. We got it going. Let me put it in Worcestershire sauce. Okay, so that's the thing. Um, okay, I think that's plenty of Worcestershire sauce. And now I'm gonna mix in 1 cup. It said 1 cup of sour cream. Let me clean this off. I'm kind of focused, y'all, as you can see for a second. I don't want to talk too much and then mess up. I gotta go write some invoices right now. How's it going with the heaters, Pooh? You gonna get a commercial type or something little Sam's? As her as the ones that she has access to, are they kind of industrial? They are. I know they're gonna come with a warranty too, probably. Mmm, that sounds delicious. And she gets a certain discount, right? That sounds good. Same brand quality. Okay. Ah, you caught a competitor. Gangster. How much they renting for? Hell yeah. Okay. They allow you to pick up? Oh, so it's required to deliver. Okay. So we gonna have to invest in propane? Oh shit. Oh. I thought they might have some new age charging machine thing. They got some that blow hot air, but that's gonna have to be electric corded, right? I like the hot wind fans. Those can be nice. See, that's what I'm saying, man. Once you start doing this, you don't got the kind that blow, then it's gonna be you got air conditioners. Oh my god. Then you got fans. Somebody asked me for yeah. Somebody asked me for I call it a spit fan, but it put the yeah the mist spit fan. Yeah, somebody asked me for that. I was like, we are not doing that. We are not doing that because it's gonna go to a whole nother level. And you remember the other lady? She told me she needed air conditioner. I said, no, ma'am. But if we do some of that, I was talking when I was in New York to one of the cast people based out of Atlanta, and I was asking them, when it comes to these sets, they're on location. Do they use like how do they source out this? Because they got to move from location to location. Like they're downtown, it's fucking cold, right? So usually, I mean, they have trailers where they can, but sometimes the location is so remote that they might need to just set up a tent for food, for just changing. You know what I'm saying? And so I was asking them how that works, and I said, "Well, see, I don't even want to go there because the money is good for the whole, uh, entertainment industry, but then it's like, okay, so now it's gonna be heaters and air conditioners. You see what I'm saying? Because that's gonna be some luxury type setup. And I'm like, do we really want to get deep into? Then they're gonna say, well, we need 5 air conditioners. Man, I'm not trying to do it. I think the heaters will be okay, but we just gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, Pooh? Just be like, this it. Don't ask for no 4 heaters. Don't ask for no misters. Don't ask for no air conditioner. We not doing that because you know how it is, Pooh. Before you know it, we gonna end up in a damn 10,000 square. Uh. Yeah, when you get to that big, you're gonna have you a full-time advertising social media person. And I ain't trying to do none of that. I ain't trying to do none of that. I'm trying to be in the garden. Okay. I'm trying to be easy life. I don't want to do all that. See, I see that's what I'm saying. You have to be so careful with this business because when you get into certain industries, they'll start demanding and asking for a whole bunch of stuff. Now they got some people who've had these businesses for generations, right? And they've been building up these huge warehouses. It's great. But when you're in that mid range, when you're in that we're in the mid range. When you're in the mid range of this business, because they got what you call the big boys. These people have warehouses. I'm talking about huge productions. And that's cool. That's cute. But what I'm saying is if you don't want your business to get out of hand, you don't want to have to maintain 10 employees a day, you got to put a stop to it. You see what I'm saying? You got to be strategic. You got to be strategic. So I was looking at this guy who's like sales dog on YouTube the other day. He has the same type of business, same industry I'm in. And he was like, yeah, so we did this kind of advertising with so and so and so did this much in Facebook and Google ads. We spent 2,000 and we made $30,000 in sales. And I said to myself, most people be like, oh, 30,000 a month. You know what I said? I said that ain't nothing but a headache. And I'm not lazy. I just know that there's a certain ratio to work. You understand? That's where I'm at. There's a certain ratio to work. I don't know how to explain it. It's so much. You got to know your limit. How much are you willing to work? How much are you willing to dedicate? How much time and energy? How many people are you willing to manage and pay and all of that? You got to decide that early on. Don't go into it thinking sky's the limit. The sky is the limit, but you don't want to get to the sky. Trust me. And I know it seems strange people talking folks out of business. I'm not talking people out of business. I'm talking about balance. It is not about the money. It's a balance of how you want to live your life. That's what it's about. Because these kind of things can take over your life. You can get to the point where you are doing your business 24 hours a day. And I'm telling you, because you got to consult with these people. You got to walk through. You got to go to their houses. You got to walk the property where they want to have these festivals. This stuff is all consuming. They want to do consultations. You got to do invoices. You got to adjust. You got to talk to so and so and da da da. It's a lot, especially when they have the bigger it is, the more it's required. And they got partners involved and stuff. I've done some stuff, partners that are Disney and all. Oh, It gets big. It gets big. It gets really big. And you just got to decide how much energy do you want to give this thing. And that's what it's about. It's about how much energy do you want to give this thing. And I spend most of my time trying to. When I say hold the business back, I'm saying keep it the size it is. You see what I'm saying? Keep it the size it is, and keep it as profitable as I can, because I have a lifestyle that I want to maintain. I do not want to be a rat on a wheel. I'm not signing up for that. I don't like money like that. I don't like money like that. I want to be able to travel and be comfortable and be happy. And when you start getting high levels of stress because you're chasing money, you're not happy. You back where you started. See, it's important to have that happiness effect. You see what I'm saying? The happiness factor. I mean, it's a priority. Now, one thing I can say, you're gonna pay now or pay later. My daddy always said that you're gonna pay now or you pay later. I paid at the younger part of my life. I paid. I went to school constantly. I got my education. I invested. I didn't do stupid shit. I got my skills up. You know what I'm saying? I invested heavily when I was younger. I made good investments. I didn't fuck off. That's what I'm saying. I didn't buy stupid shit. And I'm smart enough to get a smart husband who also, Pooh, I did it. I did it, Pooh. I did it. This ain't like the last one. I screwed that last one up. Man, I was mad. This shit was gray. I was mad as fuck. That shit was gray. I did it, Pooh. He like, all right, man. Okay, and put a little garlic, just a da da da. Should I put some Parmesan or leave it? Leave it alone? Okay, I'll leave it alone. You want some now or later? Okay, I got you. Everything's ready. So yeah, man. I do not let. I'll tell you, I did a video. I think I did a video not long ago. I had a job. So I do. Let me say this. I do decorating as well. I do decorating, and I'm really good at planning outdoor spaces. So a lot of people call me for festivals. That's where a lot of my bigger contracts come from, festivals. So I have many entities that I do festival. I put on festivals for, and I have a crew of men that we call on to do these festivals every year. Same, there's no that's the thing. Once you get a cycle of this, people don't understand a business is cycle too. Once you get your cycle going, you know who your customers are. You just keep doing business with the same people, and then you expand. Don't lose no customers. Let me tell you something. Don't lose no customers. Rule of thumb: don't lose no customers. I can't say that over and over again. Don't lose no customers. Don't lose no customers. Don't lose no customers. You need to kiss your customers' ass. They're always right. Black people got a problem with that. Hey, the customer did up. Yes, the fuck, the customer is always right. Long as they pay that invoice, they right. You hear me? I get militant about that. If they say drive and go get me so, I'm gonna get in the car and I'm gonna drive and get so and so. Customer's always right. I don't give a damn. As long as they abide by your policies, customer's always right. This is how you keep customers. Now I can decide I don't want you to be my customer, and I have done that because you're not in line with my policies. And see, when you start getting out of line with policies, now you're doing bad business. You're doing bad business then. And when you start doing bad business, you might as well go ahead and quit. Because when you do bad business, let me tell you something. You're gonna get sued. You're gonna end up in court. You're gonna get your ass sued. You cannot do bad business out here. You have to have integrity and honor, and you got to do shit the right way. Okay? Policies must be clear, and you have to keep all your obligations. Come rain, hail, sleet, or snow. You got to honor the money that people spend with you and respect people. And that's the stuff that people need to be doing. Folks always talking about how to get sales and this and that. Can you keep somebody? Are people impressed with the work you do? Do they like your services and your, you know what I'm saying? That's business. People worry about stupid shit. It's just like people worrying about all kind of stuff when it comes to elections. Can you get people to actually go to the polls? All that shit sound good. Wearing t-shirts, got it in their yard signs, they honking the horn. You know what I'm saying? They sharing it on social media. I support so and so, but is this motherfucker gonna actually go and vote? It's the same thing. People get lost in the sauce. Same thing with business. Is this motherfucker gonna pay you over and over and over again for many years and bring you more customers? That's all that matters. Anything on that is bullshit. Is this person gonna pay this invoice over and over and over and be a regular customer? And are they gonna bring me new people who I can make customers? That's all that matters. Anything other than that, you ain't doing business. It's a cycle. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. You get better, you study your methods over time, you expand as you grow, as you need to. But I'll tell you what, I'll tell somebody real quick, here go your money back. I'm good. I don't do no bad business. When I see bad business come, I be like, no, mm-mm. And that's why I said you can't be in business if you like money too much because you won't know how to turn them down. I had somebody yesterday call me saying something, and this motherfucker asked me for a discount, said that the delivery fee was too high. You know what I did? I said, it looks like you're not my customer. And I blocked him. You ain't got to never call me again. Soon as you say the word discount, you doing that hustle, that nigga hustle shit. Don't ever call my phone again. I deal with people who have budgets. You know what I'm saying? People who planned how they was gonna spend their money, and they did their research. And when they called me, they already had their mind made up on how much they was gonna spend. That's what I deal with. You call talking about discounts, talking about you a nonprofit. Well, I know you ain't a nonprofit because anybody who had a nonprofit would know that a nonprofit has budgets and they got grants and they got money and they budgeted and it was approved by the committee already. So what are we talking about? Get off my phone. I'm not cutthroat. I'm just making it make sense. I ain't cutthroat. I just don't play games. I ain't got time for no games. Too damn old. Too damn old for games. All right, y'all. Let me show you my stroganoff. I got to get off because I got to go do these invoices. I got customers. I got to serve. That is a stroganoff. It tastes good, y'all. It tastes good. So I got stroganoff and I got mixed vegetables. And I think I will. Pooh, you want some Hawaiian rolls with this? Okay. So I'll get Hawaiian rolls when I go to the store. All right, y'all. I am done cooking. I'm about to go handle my business. I got a full day. Ashe, I appreciate y'all. Have a good day. Those are my first world problems.